What if everything that you believed about control, effort, and your ability to shape life was an illusion? What if the very energy you pour into your daily struggles and suffering is quietly slipping through your fingers, that energy, leaving you drained and bound to the same old cycles of frustration? Well, this is the challenge posed by Gurdjieff's teachings in a century-old discussion about how to remain startlingly relevant today. At its heart lies a profound question. How do we stop losing our inner force and live with greater awareness? I'm going to share a modernized interpretation of how these ancient or 80 to 100-year-old writings from Gurdjieff and Maurice Nicoll can help you transform your inner dialogue and improve your life. I'm Mark Roach, sharing my journey through complex PTSD here with you and welcome to my YouTube channel called Transcendent. We often think that worrying about others or immersing ourselves in their problems is a sign of love or care. But Gurdjieff warns that this identification does not help anyone. It only drains our energy. When we overly identify with someone else's pain, we imprison both them and ourselves in a cycle of useless suffering. Imagine two people locked in a room together, each holding the key to each other's freedom, but refusing to unlock the door. This happens a lot, especially when we lose ourselves in others' struggles. We become less conscious, less free. True care requires releasing one another from this bondage by finding balance, or what Gurdjieff calls equilibrium. Losing force or energy is a subtle but constant process. It happens when we dwell on emotions like anxiety, revenge, or personal insult. We act mechanically and we give up our energy or lose our force without conscious engagement by acting mechanically or in the patterns that we may have been trained in our early life. We also give up our force or energy when we are not in the right center of our being for what we are doing, like if we're daydreaming while we're trying to work. For example, think about how exhausting it feels to do a task that you hate while your mind wanders elsewhere. Contrast that with how energized you feel when fully immersed in something meaningful. The difference lies in whether you're acting consciously or mechanically. One of Gurdjieff's most provocative ideas is that human beings believe that they can do things, that they have control over their actions and lives. In reality, Gurdjieff says, most of what we think, feel, and do simply happens. And it happens as a result of external influences, like a machine responding to its programming. We're driven by habits, emotions, and circumstances beyond our awareness. The idea can feel offensive because it challenges our sense of agency. But Gurdjieff argues that recognizing this truth is the first step towards freedom. Only by seeing how mechanical we are can we begin to change. The ultimate goal of this teaching is to increase consciousness, to wake up from the automatic patterns that dominate our lives. Gurdjieff offers two key practices for this. Self-knowledge, which is observing yourself honestly and notice how you lose force through identification, negative emotions, or mechanical habits. 2, external conditioning. Shift your perspective. Shift your perspective by putting others or putting yourself in others' shoes, not as an emotional reaction, but as an act of conscious empathy. For instance, Imagine being fully aware of the consequences of your actions, like dropping a bomb on innocent people. This heightened awareness would make such an act impossible. Consciousness expands your ability to see multiple perspectives all at the same time instead of being trapped in narrow reactions. Gurdjieff compares our inner state to a leaky boat. Unless we seal ourselves against energy-draining forces, both internal and external, we never make progress. This requires patience, self-study, and understanding the principles of the work, a system that was designed to help individuals become more conscious. One crucial principle is realizing that everything happens. Wars, revolutions, emotions, they unfold like natural phenomenon, beyond our personal control. Accepting this truth requires us to stop wasting energy on resistance or false expectations. Gurdjieff's message is clear. Most people live in a state of sleepwalking through life, losing force at every turn because they fail to see their own mechanical nature. To wake up is not easy. It requires effort, humility, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. But imagine what could change if you stopped leaking energy into worry, resentment, and unconscious habits. Imagine living with clarity, balance, and purpose, free from the prison of identification. It's not just a philosophy, it's an invitation to transform your life. Will you take it? I'm Mark Roach, wishing you all the best.